Meghan Markle finally steps foot back on British soil after years of swearing she never would, and within hours, the entire nation turns against her in the most brutal way possible. What was supposed to be a quiet family reunion has exploded into an absolute nightmare on the streets of Britain. We're talking massive crowds, furious chants, and deafening boos that chased her off the street like she was public enemy number one. No warm welcome, no polite applause, just pure, raw rejection. For a woman who once demanded royal-level security claiming the UK wasn't safe for her, this visit has become the ultimate humiliating disaster she probably never saw coming. Sources close to the palace are already whispering that this trip has gone catastrophically wrong, and what's happening behind closed doors is even darker than what the public is seeing. Harry looked completely broken. Meghan? Nowhere to be found. But here's what they don't want you to know. This wasn't just bad luck. This was years of tension, lies, and betrayal finally boiling over in the most explosive way imaginable. And trust me, what really happened during this so-called private visit will leave you speechless. Stick around because the shocking truth behind why the crowd turned vicious and what Meghan is desperately trying to hide right now is about to get a lot worse. Let's take a step back for a second, because this disaster didn't just appear out of nowhere. This was years in the making, a slow-burning fuse that finally exploded during this so-called private UK visit. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, once the golden couple of the royal family, walked away from the monarchy in a blaze of interviews, accusations, and a bombshell Netflix deal. They painted themselves as victims of a cold, racist institution that made their lives unbearable. But now, the very country they fled has delivered a verdict that no PR team can spin. For years, Meghan has repeatedly claimed Britain is unsafe for her and her children. She took the government to court fighting for taxpayer-funded security. She told the world the UK press and public were out to destroy her. But this week, she finally returned, and the British public showed her exactly how they feel. Insiders reveal this trip was meant to be a carefully controlled family reunion with King Charles, who's been battling serious health issues. Harry supposedly wanted his children, Archie and Lilibet, to finally meet their grandfather in a private setting at Highgrove. A moment of healing, they called it. But healing was the last thing on the menu. Behind the scenes, tension had been building for months. Harry's devastating loss in his privacy case against the Daily Mail left him furious and humiliated. Reports say he stormed out of court, calling the ruling a complete whitewash. Meanwhile, Meghan was nowhere to be seen again. This is the same woman whose entire brand depends on being photographed, styled perfectly, and in complete control of her image. Yet during this entire multi-day visit, she became a ghost. No photos, no videos, no glamorous appearances, just total radio silence. Royal watchers are now asking the question everyone's thinking: was Meghan too scared to face the British public? Did she already know what kind of reception was waiting for her? What started as a family visit has now turned into a public relations catastrophe. The same streets that once cheered for her wedding are now echoing with anger and rejection. And according to multiple leaked sources, this disaster is only the beginning. The real story of what happened behind palace walls, the arguments, the panic, and the alleged betrayal, is far more explosive than anyone imagined. Buckle up, because this visit has ripped open old wounds, and the worst is yet to come. What was supposed to be a low-key, private family moment turned into the most humiliating public disaster of Meghan Markle's post-royal life. According to explosive insider reports, Meghan did briefly step out during the visit, hoping for a controlled, soft appearance. But the moment her car slowed down near a public area, all hell broke loose. Hundreds of people had gathered. At first, there was confusion. Then came the murmurs. And suddenly, the boos erupted like thunder. Loud, angry, relentless. "Get her out," some shouted. "Go back to California," others screamed. The crowd surged forward, phones held high, capturing every humiliating second. Security had to move fast, rushing her back into the vehicle as the jeers grew louder and more vicious. Meghan's face, according to witnesses who spoke to palace insiders, went completely pale. This wasn't the warm homecoming Harry might have hoped for. This was outright public rejection on British soil. Harry, who had been visible throughout the week attending Invictus events and facing the press after his court loss, reportedly looked devastated when he heard what happened. One source close to the couple claims he received a frantic call and was heard saying, "This is exactly what she was afraid of." But here's where it gets darker. Leaked messages allegedly from within Meghan's inner circle reveal pure panic. One text, supposedly shared by a former staffer, read, "They hate her here." The boos were deafening. "She's shaking and refuses to leave the residence again." Another alleged message said, "This destroys everything we've been fighting for in court. If this footage spreads, her security case is finished." The timing couldn't have been worse. This chaos exploded on the same week Harry lost his high-profile privacy case, a crushing defeat that cost millions. He stepped out of court angry and emotional, while his wife stayed completely hidden.
Now, we know why.
The crowd's fury wasn't random. Years of bombshell interviews, the Oprah sit-down, spare, and constant accusations against the royal family had built up a mountain of resentment. The British public, already emotional about King Charles's health battle, saw Meghan's return as tone-deaf at best and disrespectful at worst. Social media exploded instantly. Videos of the boos started trending with hashtags like #MeghanGoHome and #SussexDisaster. One viral clip